picking this hero.
Yeah. What could you have forward here over onto Taiga?
Level 2 timing.
It's a lot of damage. Good lord, he is forced to use that very far.
No,
Wait,
somebody
the first blood going to Sania. And a little tip to boot.
Really well played by Liquid, pushing the lane out like this so that way they get level 2 and killing Taiga. I think if Taiga gets level 2 there, if OG has level 2 and it's just a 2v2 where they're all 2, there's no kill that happens there. Like, that's the one small window where you can take an advantage in that lane. So really well played by them.
EZM is running away with the CS here right now over in this mid lane. 12-2 on the Invoker, 6-1 on Mickey. I mean, it's kind of expected though, right? It's always going to be a little bit more difficult trying to last hit against the range exort hero, but...
I feel like Kunkka has traditionally been considered an Invoker counter, but maybe it's more of like you'll dumpster a Quas Wex Invoker. I feel like BZM is just playing this really well. His laning, I mean, yeah, his laning is just really good. We saw in the previous series, he did extremely well in his laning stage as well, so.
There's that Sunstrike coming in early, a little bit off the mark though.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll get clicked a bit.
Yeah, that might have actually been a kill if the coordination between them was a little bit tighter. You know, whatever.
Next time. It's early. It's only 3 minutes into the game. We'll, you know.
Well, if you're an Invoker, like the thing is, if you're Quas Exort, you're not really spending your mana like pressing things that much in lane anyway. Right. So, and you have a good amount of mana regen if you're going for like Null Tallies or Bassi or like one of these items. So you may as well use it for these like Fish Sunstrikes and, you know, Sunstriking range creeps and stuff like that. Because what's the point is at sitting at 100%?
BZM, it's a lot of damage. He's gonna have to teleport out. This doesn't feel very good to have to leave your lane, especially when you felt like, you know, you're doing pretty well in that lane.
Yeah, and
he's got to walk back.
Quas Exort, yeah, probably doesn't have boots. Not great at like walking back to lane, but you know, you'd rather that than to go down there for sure.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be giving the other mid laner any sort of advantage.
Taiga in both of these games is just like going tons of mangoes. Insania too, we can see he picked up 4 of them. I think he started with 6, so it's interesting. 7 tangos?
Yep.
My dude had 9 tangos to start. All right.
I was expecting a lot of harass, clearly.
This is like the extension of the support meta that we've been seeing so far, which is just buying a ton of regen and carry starting with literally nothing. This is what it's come to.
Just constantly feeding different types of regen to your core at all times.
Wait, Soul Ring? That's cool. Okay, so 9 tangos on Insania, and that lets Matumba Man have a Soul Ring for just spamming this lane. I don't remember the last time that I saw a Soul Ring Wraith King. That's crazy.
That is not something common. Nice here. I'm just gonna put Boxy in a little nightmare. They are aware that there is a sentry, although it looks like they were aware previously, since it's at half health. So it's gonna make the shenanigans of Boxy a little bit more difficult, as Yuragi will punish him. Let's give off a couple of these clicks and a Lucent Beam.
Tough lane for Zai. You know, he's getting a lot of denies, as you will with Enigma, but Bane with the Luna Aura and a Luna who's going to be like, you know, glaving your Eidolons.
Yuragi taking a lot of damage though. He sat for a long time in that Midnight Pulse and don't get a kill.
Well, that's one way to turn it, is to just literally kill them while they're killing your Eidolons.
Boxy, he wants his kill. He does that. He's got that creep there, but Misha gonna be just fine.
Yeah, that feels bad. Enigma is definitely not supposed to be getting kills at this point, and then that's on a catapult wave. So that's going to be a bit of pressure on the tower here. Zai alone probably can't do that much. So yeah, I don't know if he's going to tank for the catapult.
Middle lane have a little bit of a gank over onto BZM. It's like they're not going to dive the tower. Tigers make his way in. The Sunstrike coming in will land over onto Boxy.
Set you aflame.
Not missing that one.
Yeah, that was
Zai
stylish.
Dropping the Midnight Pulse, realizing that, you know, he's all alone here. They'll put a Nightmare out, put a little damage on the Eidolons. A little bit more. Should have a Lucent Beam up in a second. They won't even need it. It's going to be Misha who gets the final hit on Zai.
That's more in line with that, with how I thought that lane should go. It's and any heroes that are like totally comfortable just running out and right clicking your eidolons, it feels really bad to play against as Enigma, because they kind of keep you alive by being that threat, but they can just run past them because you can just glaive them down, right click them. 2 high armor heroes too.
Makes sense. Again, it just seems like we have this little personal side battle going on between Taiga and Insania, but that's allowing a lot of space for both of these cores to be able to go and hit creeps.
Yanamar's taking a bit of a lead because, as the panel pointed out, Underlord very good against a hero who's just giving him that constant, like, huge damage buffs of the skeletons. And if you're not using the skeletons on Wraith King in order to prevent that, well, then you're not using one of your primary abilities.
Yoragi finding the kill on Boxy in the bottom lane. The sentry ward's been helping out quite a bit, it seems, as Misha also taking a decent amount of damage from Enigma, but back off.
Bounty.
Need to heal up a little.
Zai is one of the #1 players I think that I've seen where he plays really aggressive right before getting 6. Okay, so I didn't do it this game, but he'll play really aggressive right before getting 6, and then he'll black hole somebody who's not expecting it. Like I always see him get early kills on Enigma. He's actually going for an orchid.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, I respect it. Zai is one of those people that's going to be able to make something weird work. Set the meta, so.
Yeah, both of these offlaners just don't build normal items. They refuse.
I love it though. It makes it so much more fun to watch. Trying to guess what's their next item, why are they building that, then seeing it all unfold.
It's cool because it makes certain heroes viable to do these, different builds.
Misha making this rotation to the top lane with the Sunstrike. Brambles holding in place. The cookie is not going to save your life here. Taiga gets killed. Mickey, though, they have vision. They know he's here. He just keeps running around in circles. They ping it out. Okay. He's probably just going to head back. This is giving BZM a lot of space here in this mid lane. And allowed to push him out, and it wastes a little bit of Mickey's time here.
Yeah, so this rotation that they do towards the top lane is more a result of knowing that Zai on the bot lane with the black hole, it's very likely that he's going to be played towards. He's going to use that to get a kill, so why bother sending someone down there to die to it when you can just pressure the other side of the map. Although OG's not really getting any tower damage here because their heroes are not great at doing tower damage. It would be the Luna that needs to go there, but at this point, a Luna's not exactly comfortable doing that.
Oh, Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
She's not there yet, so this bottom tower taking a lot of damage should fall to Enigma. Zai will
Radiant's
get that,
bottom tower is completely
and that opens up the jungle quite a bit.
Radiant's
so
Boxy
doing Boxy things here, just trying to be as annoying as possible. Take away the farm from Yoragi, and they do have some nice wards here to keep tabs. Look at, you've got a couple of the entryways into this point of the jungle just warded up. So that way they can keep an eye on what Yoragi is doing, if there's any stacks, and if they need to invade.
I gotta talk about the Orchid Enigma because it's so strange. Unfortunately, you can't micro the skeletons to take that off of you.
No, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be convenient. Remember when people were going Necrobook Enigma, and it was kind of like you do this pairing of using the Malefice, the stun duration to get a ton of necro damage. Enigma's actually not that bad of a single target hero as long as you've something to actually benefit from Malefice. So I'm kind of thinking maybe that's the concept here, that you get the Orchid and in the Malefice you can get so much damage because nobody's gonna turn and fight you, during a Malefice.
Right.
So you put all the Eidolons on, maybe have a +1. If you do Orchid and then black hole somebody because of the percentage damage, they're going to die 100%. It also is an early game item that lets you have mana regen that's not just Soul Ring or Mana Boots. It gives you that permanent full mana. He's gonna use it?
Yeah, he is. Taiga, you're not escaping this time.
So the big thing for why the Necrobook and why this Orchid is good on Enigma is because around the black hole, when you don't have it, you still have kill threat. Right. That's the idea behind it. So all of those other things that I mentioned, plus the fact that you're going to be a useful hero without the black hole, I think is why he built it.
Amar going perhaps a little bit too far, a little bit too deep, but they do have a big Sunstrike. It doesn't matter. There's just 3 heroes on one little Amar. And now he's dead.
Mickey has a blade man.
Dire, you gotta fortify them, their structures. Good work.
So that is for the untargetable damage of Underlord, Luna, Invoker to a degree, who's going to be, you know, meteoring you.
Pretty smart idea.
Yeah, amazing,
I like it.
amazing blade mail game. Really good.
Yeah, I like the idea, like you said, just to revisit the Orchid on Enigma. We have this problem on a lot of the big team fight heroes, right? You have this issue on specifically like Tide Hunter. That's one of the heroes
Which is why you get nags on Tide.
Right,
Oh,
or you know, you build very tanky utility sort of thing, so you still
You're a
have...
tank, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you've got another purpose besides just an ult, and I think the concept of having that Orchid, like you said, really smart, and a good way to maximize the usage of the hero.
And I think that works because of the Malefice talent
Dire's
at
top
level
tower's
10. I
under
think there's
attack.
a couple of Malefice talents that you can get now on Enigma. And so they buff up the damage, the stun duration, and so it's a legit
Radiant's
spell
middle
now,
tower is
really
under
legit.
attack.
Taiga opening up with that Cursed Crown as the Bedlam knows that I can't really do much
Middle
right
tower's under
just yet.
attack.
And a Sunstrike from BZM will secure the kill.
Man, you might as well save
Orchid
that
not
energy,
exactly
because
paying off in
Radiant
that
just
scenario, but you could see that
fortified
Zai
their
was
structure.
really ready. Like, if the Sunstrike doesn't come out, he was going to turn an Orchid plus, like, hit with the Eidolons, and I think you can actually kill these subs if you Malefice them, especially once you get that level 10 talent. It's like, it's perma-stun.
I think it was just one of those situations where he wasn't expecting everyone to be there either.
No, he wasn't.
A little bit of play here in this mid lane. A good terrorize coming out from Taiga. They'll follow up with the Fiend Script. They should be able to obliterate Nikkei. So he's not going to be a part of this fight. Zai sitting on the back lines here.
Oh, Dire's
Doesn't have that
courier
ultimate
got
just
killed.
yet. They
Are
get
you
Nikkei's
kidding me?
courier on
Weak.
top of that. So lot of damage mentally and physically in the game going out there
Yeah,
against Nikkei.
Mickey's, he's not feeling too good about that one.
No.
Great positioning from
Oh,
Misha,
Dire's
wrapping
bottom
around like
tower's
that. He
under
wasn't
attack.
expecting that. He saw all of these heroes like hiding behind the tower and playing towards the right side. He was not expecting a Fiend's Grip to just like come from above. They kind of pincered him there and
Dire's bottom
he
tower
was
is under
trapped.
attack.
couldn't get the boat off.
No, he couldn't. He couldn't get much of anything off, honestly.
Dude, Amar's build, he has no points in W. He's even like considering going for the talent at level 10. It's like, do I need this done? Yeah, I'll go ahead and go for it. Okay. I see you, Amar. I see you.
Just doing it to keep you on your toes, Jenkins.
I mean, this is like
Dire's
a,
top tower is
it's
under
such a
attack.
greedy build. I feel like Amar in general is like
Radiant's
such a
middle
greedy
tower
style
is
offlaner, but
destroyed.
Oh,
he's
sure.
he's
Not
high
my
skill
problem,
enough
but Dire's
that
top tower just
he
fell.
has leads,
No,
and when you have a
I'm trying to
lead,
tell
you should play like a more core style of offlane.
Taiga
Radiant's
getting
middle
poked
tower
here
is
by
under
Box.
attack.
He doesn't have any mana really to do a whole heck of a lot. So he's gonna go for the Shadow Rope. They're trying to just
Dire's
hold him in
top
place
tower's
here with
under
those
attack.
kisses.
You know,
As
more
they
heroes
rain
than
down
them
some
feels like they
hellfire,
don't
and
even
they'll
care.
eventually find the kill on Taiga. The tips.
Zai's going for BKB next. You know what? The Orchid could also be, well, I mean, you could just build a Linken's for this if you really cared, but to a degree, it counters the Bane countering of the Black Hole, because if you go into a fight, you could Orchid the Bane and then, you know,
I feel
Black
like the
Hole
targeting
Matama.
has to be
Dire's
so,
top
like,
tower's
you'd have
under
to be
attack.
so fast and you'd have to be able to see everything, right,
Yeah.
in order to get that off. Because, like, that was also a thought in my mind, but I was like, that's so hard to actually...
It's an option though. It's an option.
It is an option.
And the more options you have in Dota to put out,
Oh, Taiga, again, there's just too much damage. They'll collect themselves another kill, and they'll take down some Forge Spirits while they're at it.
killed by an old lady.
So Amar goes for this
Oh,
casual
jeez, Radiant's courier
helm
just got
and then
killed.
builds into Atos. So the helm to him is just like a lane dominance item, and Underlord is actually a pretty low armor hero at early levels. So getting that helm does help you more than a Ring of Health, I think.
You'd think he'd be armored like a tank.
Yeah, but you know, there's also like Weaver minus armor,
True,
Snapfire
that is
minus
true.
armor.
They have a lot of ways to reduce the armor.
Yeah, so definitely more value than a Ring of Health. But it's closer these days with the nerfs to Helm. It used to be like Helm was just the best item for laning in general as an offlaner, but now it's sometimes people go for a casual Ring of Health. Zai did it in the last game.
Atos is completed though for Amar now, so they've got multiple ways of being able to catch.
It's weird having the Atos with
Big
only level 2 pit though. It's not that big of a stun duration. Like usually or root duration, you want that pit to be maxed out, but he's super farmed because of his build.
Is it just, yeah, I was about to say, is this just something that he did specifically for laning, for farming? Because you said he's very greedy. So if you're able to, Taiga walking into quite a few of liquid again, and they'll find themselves a pick off on Mickey. Mickey while this is happening, so I think you're happy with that, especially because they don't end up getting the kill on Taiga, and they get the kill on mid instead.
Yeah, Mickey's having a tough time this game. Just the grip paired with the ball. Oh, there's the combo.
Yeah, he went right into that, so Boxy collecting the kill to get the Nightmare off over on Snapfire. Need a little bit more damage. They'll jump forward. Oh, the black hole, though, coming out from Zai will be able to hold the Invoker in place. And they should have more than enough damage to take down BZM, but they'll also be able to take down Zai. Boxy is trying to put out some more damage using those little bugs. And you can see that Matu was starting to join into the fight. But everyone's just going to back off, and while this is happening, Yuragi continues to farm. Not top of the net worth, though, by any means.
Closing in on that BKB, though. That'll be a big timing for them.
Misha finding himself a little bug. Taiga looking to make some plays here. Throws down the Bramble, throws down Terrorize. Does have a Mar following up here. Fire Blast will connect over onto Taiga. The Eidolon giving a lot of vision. The X-Mark's is about to get to drag him right back in again. They've got the Snapfire. Kisses, though, get the kill. Very nicely done by Zai to have foresight to move the Eidolon to keep that vision.
As ITB's towards the top lane, no black hole, so he's kind of mode chill. Whenever you have Enigma, Tidehunter on your team, the way that you play the game, the timings that you play for are fairly obvious. It's literally the cooldowns. On the flip side, it's easy to play around those as well. If you're OG, you know that like you can farm aggressively like this if you're Yuragi, and you're a lot safer because there is no huge black hole coming in. But with that being said, Zai doesn't have a Blink Dagger yet, so I suppose it's not that much of a threat until that point. No BKB as well, so it is interruptible. There's ways to deal with it.
My chest.
I mean, it feels like a lot of the times when these black holes are going off, it's mostly OG kind of walking into battle, and it allows for Zai to get into that position to help get those sort of pickoffs. Ooh, that's a big crit here, Misha. Says, chill out, Mati, take a nap. I am going to run like heck, and Boxy says, yeah, no, you're not allowed to do that. Couple more clicks, are they going to be able to get the Rosh? No, they have the bug on Roshan. They'll get the kill on Misha, and they'll find themselves a kill on Taiga. Just like that, Liquid marches into the Rosh pit. Sunstrike comes out, they're just keeping tabs, but I don't know if they can actually fight this with two heroes being down. Both subs not going to be part of this fight.
They do have like chip heroes, though. Yeah.
They poke, for sure.
I agree with it. Like, I agree with Liquid being careful here because
still no black hole for another 60 seconds. Throwing the boat out. Jump over here. BZM, they've got the Eclipse, the BKB coming out from Mickey. Matu sitting a little bit low as Yuragi's running for his life. It's like Amar's gonna try to just Uber himself out of the situation. Doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. Actually cancels it as the rest of the team, they're back up. A little low on mana on a couple heroes, but they're making their way back. And Sunstrike, oh, very close to Matu as he was shifting with that armlet.
that genuinely could have been Roche.
That could have been a death right there, Ama. Well, at least the reincarnation, right?
I think you could actually lose Roche with that reincarnation.
Taiga again. Snapmarkets are already up again, my goodness. Oh,
please.
Yeah, just like, no, please no.
That is just a support classic. You're like literally supposed to be immune and you just die.
It is ridiculous how far that Snapfire can be. Like,
yeah.
It's completely off the screen and you just see these kisses coming in.
Now,
I got the Roche, though.
Now that it's on cooldown.
Matu, though, very forward. They've got a little bit of hit stream. There's going to be a nice meatball. Sadie is the first to drop. They'll chase after BZM. Boxy clicking away. It looks like they're going to try to get enough damage over onto Zai with the Bedlam. There it is, the Sunstrike coming in. But they'll end up losing time before the reincarnation does get popped on Matu. BZM trying to run away. It's not looking like he's going to be able to. This Invoker, it will fall. As Matu now running away from Yuragi, running away from Amar. They have so much damage. They pop the BKBs. They want to make sure that they can get this, but it's really hard to get their hands on Matu. He's just shifting, toggling so well, but eventually he will fall to Yuragi.
Yeah, these fights are crazy. I mean,
Dire's middle tower is under
Zai
attack.
not being able to get the black hole off is
Dire's
always going to be the
middle
main
tower just took a
problem
big
in fights.
beating.
That is just the
Gone.
nature of any
Did you see
Enigma
what they
game.
did, Rick?
So
Did you see what they did?
Taiga going
Frankly,
in
more
and
you know.
being that
Wasn't paying attention.
annoying backline disrupting hero, like sure he goes in and he dies, but he gets a kill on Zai, and more importantly, even if he didn't, he disrupts the most important hero in the team fight, which is Zai with that black hole. Once Zai has BKB and Blink Dagger, it's a little bit harder to do that for Taiga, but in that fight, like, what a pain. Look at Taiga, just go straight to the right. Just go straight for Zai. And all of this is allowed to happen because he's just over there being this annoying nuisance.
These fights are just so split too. Like, people were not in the right positions, I think, for Liquid. I don't know if they were necessarily expecting it to happen. I would say that they were not.
I think they were, like, because
You think so? They're just so spread apart though this entire time. Like, you saw, like, Kunkka, like, it was nowhere near this.
But Insania was standing on the high ground. Like, they knew that some sort of smoke play was coming,
True.
and they broke it. It's just that BZM, like a maniac, just blinks in. He just goes in, giving vision for his team because he has that BKB.
Oh dear. Okay, there it is. There's the BKBs coming up from Mickey, coming up from Zai. Look at the positioning though here on Misha. Gonna try to get enough damage over onto Amar. They'll turn their attention. They just blow up Insania thanks to that BKB. They're chasing over onto the back line. Zai goes in for the black hole. And Misha, though, look at this positioning. Ready and just anytime he needs to, coming in there with the Fiend's Grip. Good terrorize coming through. Yuragi, though, sitting very, very low. He's got to be careful. He's got to try to get a little bit more damage on Matu. Sitting so great. The bouncing blade is coming out, though. Yuragi gets the final hit. As they're going to try to get out of there in a hurry. Boxy can't do anything about this. They catch their Uber and they leave the area. It looks like Taiga, though, he's missed the car.
You set sail. Well,
And Matoma Man going down there is the big problem, and then Yuragi doesn't end up going down.
Can you imagine being Matu, watching these glaives bounce around like, no, 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 no,
Yeah,
no.
he tried.
He tried so hard, and he almost made it, but it's a little bit too tough. Nice Nightmare, just to dodge. This is a very, like, neck-and-neck game number 3. This is what I like to see, Jenkins.
Yeah,
kind of Dota that's exciting.
It could go either way, and you know, once again, it's all about Zai with the black hole, and then on the flip side, it's about Misha with the cancel too. So Zai already couldn't hit an ideal black hole in that fight because without the blink dagger and just the fact that he was kind of the guy that was in the front and got gone on, he couldn't get a great black hole off. With the blink, that'll be different. But Misha also being there for the grip is like, even if he has blink and black hole with the BKB, then you're still gonna get that interrupted. But if he can get that on Yuragi, they can win the fight for sure.
Watch the way that Misha moves in these fights. Like, that's one thing that, like, I'm constantly trying to keep in the corner of my eye, is that he's always so close by to Yuragi, just enough that, you know, he's not necessarily going to get hit with the black hole, but he knows what the assignment is. He understands the assignment. It's to protect Yuragi, to make sure that they cannot get the black hole off and hold this Luna into place, because Luna, you know, the majority of their big damage. And so it's very interesting to see his positioning the entire time.
Yeah, and you know, this...
As I say that, though, you know, he's very far forward here. He's going to get trapped by Matu, but the Aegis has already picked up. His job is done, and they're going to start chasing. They have their eyes on this Wraith King. Mickey having to be a little bit careful, but he bumps the blade mail. It's going to be the first time where we're going to see Matu fall. Amar taking a lot of damage over here because the rest of his team is having to scatter. And they'll fight kill on Taiga. They'll get the kill on Matu, though. Amar just manning up on the back lines here. They'll get the silence cookie hop coming out from Insania, and he ends up paying for murdering the king. But
Did Amar just go in?
yes, he did.
1v5 and kill
well,
Matu?
maybe not 5, but he did just beeline after that Wraith.
Well, I was just looking at like the death ticker, and I see Amar killed Matu, and I look and he's just totally alone with 3 heroes surrounding him, and it's like, what?
I'm sure if you ask nicely, maybe we can get a replay.
I don't know if we can. It was like off. It was so unexpected. It was just off camera.
There was definitely, you could see him just duking it out with everybody.
Get a replay of the mini map. That would be that'd be ideal here.
All right, well, the Aegis is still on the Luna. It looks like they're gonna start putting pressure on this bottom area of the map.
Those little rascals are hitting Dyer's
There's not much life to it left anyway, so with the alacrity, this Luna is gonna cut through. But again, watch the way that, okay, here we go, here we go.
That Dyer just fortified their structure.
So you see how Yuragi's fighting over here, but look over here in this court with the live thing in the way. Oh dear.
just
So he's coming right back up, and look at this. Look how he's got the BKB active.
He's just one.
And he's just
one
man
guy
fighting them.
Dyer's
Whacking
bottom tower's
away.
under attack.
Yeah, it's insane.
Looks like Dyer's structures
Absolutely
are
insane.
fortified.
Amar the Ferocious. What the hell was
Amar
that?
the Fighter.
Good lord.
He looks very pleased with himself.
That kid
Worth it.
terrifies me. Genuinely. My God.
I mean, birds terrify you too, but
well,
yes.
they're very violent creatures. Amar might be a bird, actually. now that
You
I'm
think
thinking
Amar
about
the
it.
feathered friend?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
By the way, going all the way back, I really like Misha's positioning in that fight, dying first. That was 100% because they needed to run in and steal the Aegis on Team Liquid. And so he just runs in and dies because he's not needed to interrupt the black hole.
They just killed
Now he's
Radiant's
going to be more
courier.
careful with his positioning.
Those little
And
rascals
they'll
are
have
hitting
Fiend's Grip, they've got the
Dire's
Aegis, they've got
towers.
everything to lock Boxy down.
I think when Misha doesn't have Fiend's Grip up, he can just throw his life away for like a good initiation. And when he does have Fiend's Grip, then he can play that backliner.
And he just tags along with Luna everywhere, make sure that he's in position.
Yeah. One other like underrated element to Bane is definitely the Enfeeble. It's really annoying being Matu and trying to like lifesteal your way through these fights, and he's also like reducing your damage by like what 60%. And then you have Underlord on the flip side who's also reducing that. So like, how the hell are you doing damage? You're just not.
That's the problem. That is a huge problem.
It's just Zai. It's really just Zai.
BKB gets completed for the Wraith King, but they found themselves Misha, and he does have the Fiend's Grip that's on cooldown. So like you said, he's taking a little bit of a risky move, trying to go and do some D-wards.
He's a body.
He's fine with this though, and again, while this is happening, Yoragi continues to go up in terms of net worth, currently sitting at the top, 16k, 15k over on BZM, so I mean, maybe that's their plan, and if it is, it's working out real nice. Aghanim Scepter now completed for Invoker. Lots of good items coming out.
So the likely thing to be paired with the Cataclysm this game is Bane.
Nightmare, Fiend's Grip, yeah.
Yeah, they don't exactly have any other great setup for it. Like Underlord is just not realistic. You know, you're playing into BKBs with roots. You're not gonna get Cataclysm off. They're gonna BKB it and just walk out of it. So, lots of pressure on Misha this game in order to set up his team.
Amar just teleported out and just got a kill. All right.
I'm confused.
Yeah, me too a little bit, but I guess he saw the opportunity.
I'm not gonna pretend to know what the hell just happened, but somehow
Dire's
Boxy
middle
is dead. I
tower
don't know.
attack.
All right, well, there it is. There's the Alacrity on the Luna again. Still has that Aegis for another 25 seconds, and they're just gonna chew
Dire's
through this
middle
tower
It's gone.
very quickly.
Interesting that Yoragi has a Crystallis, and he went back for
Radiant's
completing the
top
full
tower is under
Manta style,
attack.
and then he's not even finishing any Daedalus or Silver Edge type item. He's going for big damage.
Oh, the black hole over onto BZM. Taiga's here, though. Immediately Shadow not going to be able to go and stop this. BZM somehow was still alive at the end, but still manages to fall. Taiga now running away. Cookie hop forward. They should be able to get this kill. This is a nice hit here. As the rest of the team on OG, they were not prepared for that. But, I mean, the thing that I'm concerned about, Jenkins, is now Black Hole's on cooldown.
Yeah, the thing is, when you get this late into the game, you know, Invoker's dead for 60 seconds, so when Invoker's back alive, Black Hole will be only on cooldown for 60 seconds, and that's a tough timing to, like, take a smoke. By the time you get to the fight, there's, like, 30 seconds left on it if you perfectly time it. So that's a nice thing about killing a core with Black Hole at this point in the game when they're as farmed as this Invoker,
Radiant's
is
top
that, like, the
tower
death
is
timer
under
is just so
attack.
long, so...
Radiant just fortified
Definitely
their
worth it,
structures.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
For them
talking
to at least
about?
take some damage over onto this tower. But I also think,
Radiant's
again,
top
this is a very
tower is under
pokey
attack.
lineup, so I think as soon as Invoker's back up, they could try to make something happen.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They just don't have that threat anymore.
Yeah, the question for Liquid is, in this downtime, do you want to play, like, together but safe, or split and safe? And I'm kind of feeling that, yeah, OG goes for, like, the immediate smoke. If you play together and safe, you're risking, like, getting into a 5v5 fight.
Oh.
This is honestly for, like, better.
They go for
You better
everything.
hold on to your
My
hatches
goodness,
now to
Yoragi does
make
the
a kill.
Eclipse. We
That's
have a
5,
Sunstrike.
baby, 5.
That's a lot of damage.
There's no
Like, you'd
accident
rather that be
anymore.
your 5,
This
but when
isn't
you
an
split up
accident
like
now.
that after using Black Hole, you just lose one person instead of, like, 3 or 4, where you could lose the game off of that, you know?
Right. We get an immediate rift from Amar. Yoragi running over to Taiga. I know that this Kunkka's down for 50-something seconds. They're gonna flex their muscle a little bit. Oxy.
I like the
Affinity.
I look at Amar's inventory, and I've been watching this kid play all week in pubs, and I just feel like if he has
They're
some,
going after Dire's bottom tower.
he just gets satanic. I was gonna say if he has a chance to get Satanic, he gets one. That's just wrong. He just gets Satanic on literally everything. Like, the guy just plays carry from the offlane and then somehow solo kills carries and weavers off screen to the point that we don't even we can't even conceive of how the hell it happened, you know? It's
Yeah, he just walks into 3 heroes and, you know, murders position 1.
it's just it's gotta feel so weird to play against. It's just weird because no offlaner plays like this.
Well, I think maybe that's why he's having such good success. I mean, aside from the fact that he's obviously very talented, but the idea is just you're bringing something new to the game. And how often do we see that happen? Whenever we see teams like, for example, Secret always likes to run, you know, a bit peculiar drafts. Everybody gets caught off guard, and immediately they scramble, they go back, they watch the replays, they're like, okay, how did this possibly happen?
Yeah.
Because they need to figure it out, and then it becomes just commonplace. And that's a very exciting thing for Dota. It's one of the things that I think makes it so incredibly cool, is the fact that there's constantly new builds and new ways to play, just coming out of nowhere. And half the time we're like, oh my god, this seems insane.
I think it matters more these days because everything is so close. Due to the fact that there's like this amazing replay system, you can like study replays and get up to date really quickly. There's so many people competing. You've got DPC. Like, there's a lot of reasons why Tier 1 and Tier 2 are closing in on each other and why these teams are also close to each other. So these like random new ideas that people have never seen before have that much more value because you're not just gonna like outlane a team because everybody's so good at laning, right? So it's like you need to do stuff like this where it's like people don't know how to play into a Satanic Underlord because
When have you played against a Satanic Underlord?
most Underlords honestly build these like defensive, safe,
yeah.
like sad items. Like
Sad items.
Yeah, the Guardian Greaves and Crimsons. It's like this guy's just running at you, going for Abyssal Blade with a Satanic on Underlord, farming the enemy Ancients alone. Wow, how do you deal with it?
That's a question Liquid's asking themselves right now as they are smoked up. They do have a black hole available, and they have the BKB. Oh, this is interesting. All right, they're going to immediately find Misha. They'll blow him up. So now if they want to find anything else here, they don't have to worry about Bane. There is no buyback on Misha.
Oh, Dire's bottom tower's
OG
under
most likely
attack.
just going to try to dodge any fights that they can for now.
Yeah, he has the grip, so that's a really good kill.
Dire's bottom tower's under
fine.
attack.
Well, I mean, if we're going to have an Abyssal Blade on the Underlord, that's another solution to the BKB. But no solution here, looks like, for Mr. Boxy. He wandered into the wrong triangle at the wrong time.
It used to be way better, Abyssal versus Enigma, because of the little jump that you got out of it. But now that they remove that, not so much of a counter. Like, you have to kind of mess up as Enigma to let somebody walk in. And I mean, you could get an Ether Lens plus Abyssal. That would work. But Zai almost has his Lincoln Sphere. It's such a cheap item these days too, so he'll have it really quickly. And so that way the Bane is going to be less of a problem.
The illusions are just taking all that farm away from Hatu. Smoke play, though, coming out from the side of OG. Gonna let Taiga lead. Pretty slippery here. Luna's finished her own Satanic, so these fights could potentially go on for quite a while. Look at the way the Misha's playing. Does have a Blink Dagger now on the Bane. Getting far back, Taiga will find himself in Sania. Cold Snap, Lucent Beam, force forward right into the brambles, and that's a dead Insania. While the rest of Liquid now start moving into the lower half of the jungle. They don't want to have to deal with this. They don't want to have to take a fight without their Snapfire. But they're going to force the issue, it feels, because there is a Roche up. And I think OG wants it.
Yeah, you know your life is definitely about to end when you force staff yourself through 2 brambles as the like only way out. That's like your safest option.
Yeah, no way out. No way out.
And Liquid, they're not interested in fighting this. You know, I suppose the idea is like they can black hole the Invoker just like they did in an earlier fight and win the game by ignoring your Augie and just kiting him. And then like kill him afterwards, and they figure like if they're gonna do it one time, they can maybe do it a second time. But the problem is, as SVG was talking about, we've mentioned a lot, it's like this is a huge hokey lineup from OG, and so if you're letting your Augie sit there and beam and beam and beam and beam and beam while you're like quote unquote kiting him, he's really the one kiting you at that point. That is so many summons.
I know. Somewhere there's an Earthshaker that's just twitching. Just like, oh, I know it's there somewhere.
Somebody needs to deal with that. All right.
All right, I like this. Okay,
Focus heading up.
we've got the Lincolns on Zai now, so it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult. But the positioning has still been just really excellent, and there's still ways to go and cancel this black hole as long as they know about that Lincoln. So perhaps they can get the jump.
BZM also, he's got his Elon disc. It's disassembled and locked, so he can use it in the black hole.
To the Terrorize, they've got the 2 Sun Strikes, and that's a dead Boxy.
All right, I did not anticipate that as a combo, but
Oh,
it
they
works.
grabbed themselves a Wraith King here. They're gonna just try to force staff off, try to run away a little bit further. They'll pop the Lincolns over on the Enigma. They ping it out. They know he's got it now. Cookie Hop coming out from Insania. They need to hold him. Oh, Misha,
Oh,
though.
everyone bow down.
That Midnight
Oh,
Pulse and those
she
Eidolons are
accident. It was an accident, I
pesky.
bet.
Honestly,
A little bit of a whoopsie.
Yeah, but yeah. Without, once again, without grip, it's like just not much of a hero. Although, you know, looking back at that idea, it's like now that there's a Lincoln's, you could argue that the most important part about Bane is becoming the Enfeeble on Wraith King, as well as like the kiting that comes out from Nightmare, because I don't think you're going to interrupt this black hole anymore. It's not going to be possible if Zai is positioning well, and it's Zai, so he probably will. You're not going to abyssal it. You don't have, you know, an ether lens to allow you to do that. It's just the grip. So Zai's going to get his hole off, and you have other options for dealing with it. Like that's what the Eon Disc Core is on for BZM.
Nice Ice Path. They're going to try to burn through this mana over on Matu. It does have the shard, though, so it's dead once. They're going to go back in again. Zai getting into position here immediately, though. Yuragi going to try to just Manta things off. Got Nightmare. Moves away fast. They reset.
Yeah.
Whole lot of happening for nothing right now.
Not much else to do in base other than just spin.
Sometimes that's what you got to do. They did take out the reincarnation, so things are very scary for Matu to go forward here.
Yeah, with that nerf on Wraith King too. 40 seconds, or 20 extra seconds he has to wait.
Okay, all right, they're going to try to make some plays here over onto the Luna. Still has the Aegis. It's taking down the Midnight Pulse hurts. First death of Luna down. They're going to try to
maybe
grab her, get out of here.
Okay.
They don't need to push their luck right now. They'll just back. Is this a fake back? Or are they going to try to move their way back in again?
I think Amar was worried about the like hole into the Aegis, so he just prevented that entirely by bringing him to the creep wave. And it's not far enough away that it's like, oh, they're out. You know, no, they're still in. That was just in case the hole follow-up was going to come there. So it's actually a really good read by Zai to not hole there. He's like, it's too obvious. There's going to be some sort of save coming in. I mean, that would have been a dank save if
that would have been
hole did happen.
insane, right?
And Amar saved like that. Like that's just a good read from both sides. I literally did not see that.
It's one for the highlight reel.
It would have been.
All right, what do we have? What do we have for neutral items?
Tumby is picking up Rapier for like regular items.
That's not a neutral item.
It's actually very non-neutral. It's quite aggressive.
Quite aggressive, yes.
So he had it queued up in the previous game as well, or the first game, I should say, and
never got around to it.
Never got around to it, but you know, Wraith King is one of these heroes that the Rapier still is that, like, you know, you're power spiking the entire game, like you're stronger than us. You get the Rapier, all of a sudden, like, we're twice as strong as you. It used to be like that for every single hero when it gave True Strike, but now it's more so just only really good on these heroes that like, benefit massively from the Rapier damage, which a hero that has a built-in guaranteed crit, of course.
What kind of trouble we
While one-shotting people is never bad.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
He also has a
attack.
cleave talent now, for some reason, on Wraith King. So that's pretty nice as well with the Rapier.
Yeah, that'll be able to help clear very, very fast and put a lot of damage for sure. They haven't really been able to move out of the base, though, over here on the side of Liquid. They're getting a couple more of these neutral items. Boxy, though, does get spotted out. 3 meteors. Again, that is the Aeon Disc getting popped here. Boxy trying to teleport out. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to because he gets terrorized and he gets clipped down. EZN getting the kill. It's like they were trying to make something happen. Yuragi get in position. Misha, he can't afford to go down like this, but he will get slain. What happened during that? Did he use a Fiend Script? No, he didn't use Fiend Script. Still fighting. Found themselves another target. Zai going to the black hole. Only going to be able to go and grab Amar, but look at this damage that they're just able to outplay. Amar's not allowed to fight at all, so they will find themselves a kill. With Black Hole to follow up though, got a Tornado EMP, but it looks like it's just to disengage.
You know,
Taken down 2.
it's 11k goal lead for OG, but I actually feel like Liquid's in a pretty good spot. They're getting to the late game with Enigma. There's not great ways of canceling the Black Hole. Zai's going to be getting that refresher fairly soon, so instead of that just being a kill on Amar, who should be, you know, completely unkillable, it'll be a kill also on Yuragi, should be unkillable, unless they die here.
Well, they're trying to make something happen. They've got the dust, they've got the X off, but not going to be able to connect here as already BZM runs away, uses that BKB to ensure he can escape.
I was not looking at the minimap. BZM just poking again, and he seems to do this on every hero, where he just blinks in, just uses spells, like, baits you into thinking that there's a bunch of people behind him so that you press stuff. And, I mean, it can be so game-ruining for your opponents to, like, get baited by that and press things, but Liquid didn't exactly take the bait there, and, you know, I suppose being Game 3 in a long, intense series like this, you do tend to get used to a certain player's play style.
I mean, it is a situation, right, where you're not sure about oh goodness, okay. There was an Insania there, but Matumba Man jumping in. Knows that there doesn't have that BKB quite up and running. Zai getting into position here. Gets signs, he's trying to go, they pop the Lincolns. Bane just getting stunned out because he's taking too much damage, so the buyback will pay off as Misha does come back again. Mickey taking a lot of damage here from Yuragi. They need to get a little bit more damage to Tiger. Are they going to be able to do it? They've already lost Taga. And now Matu, there is a big cataclysm. Is it going to connect? That connects over onto Boxy. Matu running for his life. BZM, look how fast he is. He wants to try to grab him, but he's just not going to be able to close the gap. As multiple buybacks occur during that fight.
So there's no Roche. That fight is just kind of like both sides are just hoping to kill an important hero and run down mid and get a Rax, but didn't really happen for either side. I think if you're Liquid, you're happy with that because you don't have Black Hole and still the fight goes decently for you. You force a buyback, you have to buyback as well, and then your Weaver dies and he gets his buyback timer out of the way. So I'm really feeling like even though there's a 13k gold lead, if you have Enigma on your side, you're fairly happy with these things happening. OG's looking to like really pressure off of one of these no Black Hole timings pretty soon, especially with this next Roche coming up.
I mean, that's the draw of these big team fight heroes, right? A good Echo Slam, a good Black Hole, or a Dream or something like that can actually just change the course of the entire game if it happens in the manner that will maximize, you know, the damage. And speaking of damage, double damage rune.
And Yuragi has an Octarine core on Luna too, so he is really trying to play like that, you know, Phantom Lancer Octarine core build where you just kind of sit at the side and like spam your abilities. So this is like fully committing to that idea of you're never gonna Black Hole me because I'm never gonna enter into a fight. We'll see if it works.
I will say it's a little bit odd, like looking at the lineup and looking at the itemization that came out from a lot of these heroes. Like I guess the main initiation comes out from BZM, right, with a long range tornado or something. Because you don't want to have Misha that far forward.
Yeah, it's like BZM or Taiga. Like
yeah.
They've both been a little weird.
But Taiga can only do so much.
Yeah.
Smoke play, though, coming out from Liquid. They're going to try to make their way out of the base, see if they can grab any stragglers. I'd love to get rid of Misha again, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to let Boxy scout Poochie.
Yeah,
the refresher orb is completed now. This is a big item timing for Liquid. If they can get 2 Black Holes off, just turn the tide completely. You can see a huge gold swing.
And Roche is up. So this is
the time. Taiga, he's gonna walk the Boxy, cookie hop, goes into that Shadow Realm. We'll drop some Midnight Post. It's a little bit of a Hex coming out. BZM chasing after the Weaver. Taiga, though, taking a lot of damage over on the side. Gonna go in for those long range Snapfire kisses. Taiga has himself a Yule, buys just a little bit more time. Not enough, though, so he will fall. Don't have to worry about that. There is a gem on deck. Looks like they've snapped it up.
He needs 3 tornadoes, then he can survive that. 2 was clearly not enough.
Clearly. Let's get more. There's the Stormcrafter that he had and the Yules, but just not quite enough.
5,100 gold on Luna. Now I'm thinking like, what do you buy for this build? Because you don't really care about a Moon Shard, right? Because you're just playing from, like you're playing off of your Qs, which is dependent on cooldown, not on attack speed.
Because
So
Scotty?
I was gonna say, I think Scotty, and then
Yeah. Oh,
drop the
Yuragi.
boots. Like, but if you're dropping the boots, then
You need those. I mean, they do have spider legs on the team, I'm pretty sure, but
I think you probably have to drop the boots. But the issue with that is the fact that Zai now has an easier chance at getting that black hole on you because you're slow.
a lot of positioning issues, but Roche is up. This is big. Each team, they want this. It's gonna be really hard to go into a pit, though, when you have an Enigma on the enemy team, when you have a Refresher. A lot on the line here. See the way that they're dancing around the pit.
Rapier on. I just realized Matoma has a rapier. That's very important.
Have a rapier.
Okay, so this is a tremendous timing from Liquid. It's a 12k gold lead for OG, but Liquid, in my opinion right now, is actually stronger. And you can see that OG feels like that as well. They do not want to engage to the point that they literally have an Octarine core on their Luna. It's all about getting the right initiation. Like, get the right hero, get a pick off. Nightmare, Fiend's Grip, some Invoker Tornado on the supports in the back. But Liquid also, they know that. They know that if they take a fight right now, they win. So let's just not get caught. Just follow Matumba Man around.
It's that easy.
Radiant's middle tower is
That
under
easy.
attack.
Foxy. Trying to do a little bit of scouting. They can see Taiga's over here. We'll send over the Eidolons, try to get more information.
Foxy's got to chill
He's
for like
got-
10 more seconds, dude. He's got his Eon disc up in 10 seconds. Like, he is risking.
I
Big
mean,
time
they're
here.
just poking away.
He's got
Time?
his He's good. He's good. He's chilling.
It's interesting because we talk about OG having so much poke, but with Boxy on this Weaver, he's allowed to do quite a bit of his own poking, just getting this information, as long as they don't unlock him, right? That's what it all comes down to. Illusion on illusion action. PCM coming forward here, just gonna clean it up a little bit.
This is where, if you're Liquid, you would really love to have a hero that has boots of travel. They're going for the full
They're going
wrap
in, they're
around.
going for full wrap here. To see these couriers zipping
know.
around. BCM jumping in. Oh, he wanted to get Zai, but it's a little bit too slow here. Jump forward here from Matu will immediately pop the Aeon disc. There's a lot of damage getting dumped out here. The follow-up. Can they get enough damage? Yuragi backing off. They don't like this positioning. They don't want this Zai finding this opening. He's looking to get anything done. That's a lot of damage coming out from Mickey as they just obliterate Misha. No buyback on the Bane, which is very spooky stuff now. Mickey picking himself a
Hex on
completed
Kunkka.
hex.
Okay.
They're going for full control on the side of Liquid. They know that they've got lots of damage from Matu.
And they're all just buying out. They're saying, like, this is where we win or lose the game.
Radiant's bottom
They
tower is
go.
under
They
attack.
don't have the Bane. This is very, very scary. Reminder, they have this Refresher on their Enigma. And they don't have a way to cancel out these black holes.
Tower, could you?
If they get a second refresher, too, like the refresher shard,
Refresher, yeah.
it's going to be devastating.
Lots of hellfire raining down. It's too late, though. Matumba Man got himself that Aegis, so he's got a backup plan now that he has that Rapier on board.
Yeah, Zai's got a second refresher.
Oh my god.
Who did they give the Ag shard to? Oh, wait, there's no Ag shard on the third Roche, right?
No, it's just
GG.
the Refresher.
The cheese is on Mickey. Okay, yeah, that's a great cheese target. Not so good on your Wraith King, who's going to have 3 lives anyway. Throw it on the hero that gets that damage reduction.
Save Refresher Orb now picked up.
73?
73 Forge Spirits. They've been busy.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of death. This game has been littered with death.
Radiant's middle tower is under
We
attack.
have, I think, a kill per minute, basically, if you look at the heroes.
73 Forge Spirits?
It's all Luna.
There's no way
For the
that...
Eidolons, anyways.
There's no way. 106 on... See, that's more reasonable, because there's, you spawn so many of them. 73 Forge Spirits. That's more than 1 a minute. My boy's feeding his friends.
All right.
Amar's going back for the Hex. His build
Radiant's middle
now
tower is
is
under
seeming
attack.
a little all over the place.
Very much a little all over the place, for sure.
Jeez,
Got a
Radiant's
Satanic, a
middle tower just
Basher,
got
and
wrecked.
Atos. Looking at a Hex now. We've got some control, a little bit of damage, a little bit of sustainability. Not sure exactly what this Underlord is.
He's got some identity issues currently.
Yeah. But if it ends up winning the game,
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
it works.
sometimes you have to pivot. I don't disagree with this. Like, He's realizing that he's not going to be this like frontlining right clicker, because if he goes in, well, we saw what happened when he went in.
Yes.
He gets hold, he dies. Doesn't matter how tanky he is, because Enigma's percentage damage. The tankier you are, the more damage he does to you.
Missing middle.
Oh, Wind Waker. Okay, so Taiga built the correct item. That's a
really good item, as long as he doesn't get blown up first, though.
yes, yes. The problem is when there are 3 black holes and you only have 1 Wind Waker. In
Do the math for me, Jenkins.
by
It's
my
no worry.
calculations, that's too few.
For the treasury!
Say my name.
Yeah, that's an Amar spray right there. You did say his name earlier. Very authoritative voice.
Amar?
Yes.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yep, that is his name.
Aghanim Scepter. Okay, I like this. He's just
Hell
like,
yeah.
he's just like, you know what? Let's just get wild in this game.
Let's get that gate. Have we
We're
seen a Phoenix gate?
portaling. We're portaling to their fountain. We're gonna kill Zai when he respawns.
There we go.
Oh, wait, where's
Oh, there's a Hex. He's gonna try to blow him up as fast as possible. Meatball's a little bit off the mark here. Oh, this is looking a little bit scary for BZM. Turned into a sheep. That's a lot of damage. Pops the on disc. He's got the BKB. He's gonna go walk away. They've got Amar nearby. They need to get out of there. And by God, they just peace out. See you later.
Zai unfortunately got his blink canceled just at like the last second by that ice wall. I think he was looking to
Use one of the holes.
use one of the holes, yeah. And but BZM, nice positioning, putting that ice wall down to cancel Zai's blink, and then playing like at the far end of it from Zai. So
They
that
moved the refresher, by the way.
yeah, Wraith King.
Yeah.
Let me see. I mean, I suppose it's because he's got a rapier, and so you can refresh the ults and get that 3rd life. The Aegis is also coming to an end, so... Did I see Witchbane on Wraith King?
Yeah.
Witchbane.
Maybe to deal with Enfeeble or
Radiant's
something. I
bottom
don't know.
tower is under attack.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
That is very cool. Look at all the
Dang.
brambles. It's like Sleeping Beauty's castle over here.
Well, he can also Witchbane off the Alacrity, which is not bad. They've got the,
Way to
they've got
go.
the Kunkka,
Radiant's bottom tower
the
is
Kunkka
completely
Blink
gone.
rapier on Wraith King, so they can do this like X sieging. And there's not much that you can do about this. I mean, I suppose you have the Wind Waker. Then you're dealing with a...
You'd have to commit pretty hard, and that's very difficult because pretty much all of their stuff has some kind of a wind-up.
It's a 4-life Wraith King too, so not exactly the best thing to be Wind Wakering into your base.
Definitely not.
It's like inviting a bear into your house.
Don't invite bears into your house, guys. It's not a good idea.
They maul.
They do indeed.
Not the kind that you would hang out in as a kid.
Well, not, I mean,
I would.
a lot of people are Zoomers now. They don't know what that means.
No, that is true. I'm sorry. Not with Dota players. Let's be real. We're all old.
Except for T-Gov. Yeah, baby.
From the core of the universe.
Look at him.
Beans game.
Look at him. He's
Combo.
creeping. He's thinking about it.
He's like, if I had a portal right now, I could be in Fountain and in these trees right now.
He's tempted. He sees all these lovely eidolons. But he's the only one who's able to really make steps out of the space right now. It's just too difficult for the rest of the team of OG. So Amar's got to be that guy. BZM is trying to push out a little bit, but immediately, you know, backing off, getting back into the safety of his base. Smoke play coming up from Liquid. It looks like they're probably going to try to punish Amar if possible, perhaps.
What, now the question is, what does Amar sell for the eggs? Does he wait until he has the consumable? Is he going to sell the boots? The basher?
I feel like you can't sell the boots, right? Because the boots just make him so... He's so slow then. Even though he does have, like, the blink, right? He's got that mobility item, but there's a lot of ways to cancel it out. And you don't want to be stuck in that midnight pulse.
I just
big
don't know
boy.
if you want to
Oh,
sell.
big boy! BKBs! He's gonna just teleport on out. Throw out a little cheeky damage on the way, too. Look at this. Look at the immediately.
Ooh,
They immediately
all right.
TP to the bottom area. They know BZM's down here. BZM walks right into Insanity. Look at it. He throws out the ice wall. He's going, uh-oh. Uh-oh, I gotta get out of here. They go in with the black hole. They're gonna get rid of this right here,
He's
right
dominating
now.
now. He's dominating.
All right.
There's a
I thought the Eon disc was like, oh, you know, he might survive this, and then Matumba's was just
No,
like,
no.
no, I'm gonna go ahead and one-shot him here.
Well, he does have buyback, so not the end of the road. Amar has just been spending so much time up here now, too.
He's got it coming out. He's got his eggs,
Ooh.
and he's getting a bloodstone. Wait a minute. Where's his eggs?
Oh, hold that thought. There's a nightmare immediately being placed over here on Matu.
He didn't buy it yet.
Passable muster.
Oh boy, Dire's middle tower.
You were
is
so
under attack.
so excited.
I wanted to see the eggs.
So excited. Not quite there just yet. And Matu, they're gonna keep doing these cute little plays here. Just put them into sleepy mode. Force him back.
Nice for Mikke to hit the torrent there, just in case the Wind Waker comes out, keeping Matsu in the base. That could be bad.
Could be indeed.
But they're throwing like Lincoln Spheres on him, so that's even hard to do.
He's so well protected, I guess, is the thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you initiate on him, he's got the second life, follow up. Goes for the BKB play this time. He's like, I'm tired of being nightmared.
Radiant just fortified their structures.
And he dares them to use something stronger on him, but they're not going to take that bait over on the side of OG.
Yeah, he has refresh BKB just in case, so he's fairly confident just using that to siege. Force out the glyph. Arguably, at this point in the game, the glyph is actually worth more than the racks because like these heroes are so strong. You can take throne in literally 3 seconds, so forcing out that glyph with BKB is actually really important. We almost have 60-minute items coming out, so you know we have this really nice timing from Liquid where they're really strong because they have, you know, Rapier and Sheep on Mikke and that sort of thing. But once you get those 60-minute items, like things are just chaos.
Well, that looks like the next item she's considering is the butterfly, but she's got so many items.
What the hell do you drop?
Yeah, exactly. That's the big question here.
Yeah.
Liquid playing in their own jungle, just gonna push out this top wave. They'll stand on the
Insania.
high ground.
He's got a Lincoln Sphere too on Insania, so that's gonna be a Lincoln Sphere that he can put
Come
on
on,
his team.
Radiant's top
That's to,
barracks are getting
protect
attacked.
his Wraith King.
Oh, the Eidolons. Oh
Man,
my
I
goodness,
missed.
they take an entire
Radiant's
racks here,
bottom
so
barracks
they're gonna have to send
are gone,
BZM
and I
back.
didn't think
They
Radiant's
lose
bottom barracks
2
would go
racks
that
here.
quick.
Yeah, another chaotic element of these like 60-minute scenarios is 25s on heroes. Like Enigma with the Eidolons, they do so much damage at this point. You summon like 15 of them or something.
Plus 5 demonic conversion Eidolons,
Dire's
yes. So
top
you have a
tower's under
full
attack.
army.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so hard to
Illusion.
execute fights at this point. It really comes down to
Dire's
like
top
if
tower's
one
under
hero
attack.
on either side gets caught out, it
I wonder
can
what
be
they're gonna
GG.
build
All right,
where
Yeragi.
Dire's top tower used
Trying to
to
just
be.
force them back. It is a Luna.
Dire's
The Glade's
top barracks
bouncing.
have
Amar's
been
already in
completely
position
cut
here.
down
They've
to
popped the
size.
BKB
Dire's
over on
top
Yeragi.
barracks are
They're
really
just going to take
taking
as
a
much the
whipping.
base as they can. But there is a little bit of poking back and forth here in this mid lane. Boxy continuing to try to push out the wave.
Yeah, this is getting pretty spicy. I like this. You know,
Sneaky.
you got one side doing this like X play to siege the high ground, and then the other side they're using Amar to rift out. That's pretty nice. I mean, either side, there's no fort on either side. Like either side could go throne at some point. The game could just blow up.
Other side of the strike, they realize they're in the pit. Immediately the smoke coming out for OG. They want to try to fight this, but this rush is going down way too fast. And going for the cookie hop, they want to ensure that they can pick it up. There's a lot of nice juicy toys on the ground. Except they're getting picked up on Mikke. Just gonna grab up that Aegis as well here as OG will back off. Oh, we get a giant sprint.
Oh.
Let's go, baby.
On
Let's
Tumba.
go. That's a big skelly, man.
Now, the best thing about this is it means he can drop the boots and he's still insanely fast. Like,
Yeah.
when you're a Rapier Wraith King, you're so happy with this. All right, Fallen Sky.
Fallen Sky, that could be
Who do we
very
put a Fallen Sky on Book of the Dead? That's one of the worst ones that you can get.
Oh,
Although, if we're going
Radiant's
for some
top
throne
tower's under
race, like,
attack.
I mean, you know, it's good for that.
Book of Shadows, too. Very nice. Very nice for.
That's a weak item. You want that.
You want the
item.
Stygian
You want the
Desolator.
Desolator. Deso 2, baby. Yeah, that's like the highest damage item in the game right there. Legit. You'd
I
rather.
was saying for positioning purposes, the Book of the Shadows is pretty nice,
Dire's
but
courier.
I don't know. I
Bit
find
the
it.
big
I find it
one.
to be
There's
very
a job
underwhelming.
opening
I'm always
in case anyone's
disappointed.
interested. Courier.
hey. What's
Hello.
up?
Hello
What's up?
there.
You can't even see him because
Just
he's
make
so
a
large.
kill.
Gem gets dropped on the
Oh, that's a
ground.
dope item. That's
Mirror
a good
Shield
one.
is so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Holy
hell
shit.
yeah.
I mean, against Bane too. You're just like, well, what the hell do I do? I'm gripping myself. That came out wrong. All right.
Nice. Ooh, Zai, though, is getting clicked down by some of these summons. That is a very long X marks the spot. My goodness.
He is just not even able to clear that because of the Book
Look
of the
at
Dead.
He's just walking right. Yeah, look at this.
Oh, looks like the Book of the Dead building into an Octarine core. Very nice. Yeah, it's Invoker. Refresher
cute.
Invoker, Strength Blink. This man is far.
Oh my god. Matu, just giant skeleton man. This looks like a Dark Souls boss at this point.
Yeah. High Lord Walnir. That's the skeleton boss in Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
it.
looks like that
He
guy.
looks like him.
He really does.
There's a very easy.
It's a super easy
Yeah,
fight.
super
Yeah,
easy
it's a
boss. This
really
is
easy
not
fight.
looking as easy.
No, this is looking tough. Oh, Force Boots. Nobody's using Force Boots? Okay, that's like the best neutral item. Tier 5.
Oh, they go for the black hole play over on BZM. They've had enough of his nonsense. He pops the BKB. He's got to run, though. He's got to get out of there fast. He's just throwing out meatballs, using all the spells possible. Goes for the refresher, trying to run away here. Zai, he's got the BKB. They want this Invoker, but they can't get their hands on him. He's too fast. They cannot close the gap on BZM. He's just running for his life. Look at this man.
Oh, he is so enthused to be alive right now. Clearly.
Fight me indeed, but you gotta catch him first. We've got Arcanist armor, and we've got,
To be honest, that's the look of somebody who just shit their pants. Like, is just looking.
You sound like you'd be an expert
dead
on that,
serious.
sir.
Yeah, you look dead serious because you're like, oh no, I'm on camera.
Just got play cool, play cool.
Yeah, that was nice though. That was
Nobody
really
using
nice.
Force Boots.
I think Zai actually used the refresher for that too. So I don't know if he used the refresher shard or the Apex.
find out.
Oh baby.
Use the, we just have the refresher orb on cooldown.
Okay. And the shard is gone.
Shard is.
Okay, so he used both actually. So he still has one black hole left. So they're fighting into one black hole instead of 3.
That's a little bit more doable, I think, for OG, but still very scary when you consider how big Mr. Matu is. Immediately, BZM, they're like, nope, get in the car, get out of here. Misha, get this car. And they're gone. Even going for that BKB. Ooh, this is a high stress, high tension game.
Yeah, at some point, one team is going to just throne the other while all 5 are
They all have buyback, too.
That's why I feel like a throne play, like a surprise throne play will happen, which that's what it looked like to me that OG was setting up.
So all the trees got taken down.
Yeah, that's an issue. I mean, Zai can basically deforest the Amazon at this point if he wanted to.
Can we talk about how sad Taiga is? Like, he bought one of the most expensive items, and that's basically been it for this dude. Look at his items. That's what feels bad.
Yeah.
But he's got big aspirations, right? He's got the MKB and the Ags.
You know what the
Yeah.
sad thing is? Like, his net worth doesn't even look that bad because it's just that expensive.
It's
of an
that
item.
expensive. It's insane. Matu clicking away on the tower.
Oh, Radiant's top tower.
Look at all these Eidolons. Oh my word. But, I mean, they have a good high ground defense, right? You may consider you've got a Luna, it's got all the glaives are going to be bouncing. You've got the Firestorm coming off from the Underlord. And, of course, you've got a Tornado to help clear out a little bit and meatballs. But
Oh, Zai's got his own book
it's
of the
getting
dead.
silly. Very silly.
This is just like a battle of the demons down here.
Yeah, honestly, you just keep sending out your summons and you see
don't know.
which one are more powerful.
I don't know who's winning.
Oh, Radiant's middle tower is
I think
destroyed.
Liquid, the way that they're just running here into the base and being able to pull these shenanigans is looking pretty good. We've got double cheese on deck.
I'm not
The double-decker cheese.
I'm not even sure if Megas matters that much at this point. I think it's just picking somebody off who doesn't have buyback. I mean, this is a really nice
I mean, they all
play.
have buyback. This is going to be quite the
Yeah,
war.
I suppose like picking somebody off who has buyback, forcing them to buyback, and then killing them again. Like that's what the game is boiling down to at this point. Because either side, when you get into these late game scenarios, like both sides have their strengths. Because 25 talents and neutral items, like, they're just insane.
They make the game very interesting, and they're also designed to make the game end. But when you've got this kind of a matchup here, you gotta be feeling that tension.
Here we go.
Okay, there it is, small in the sky, but they have that. You're throwing him up in the air, it's gonna immediately pull him back. Boxy taking a lot of damage. How many Aeon discs do we have at this point in this game?
A lot. Well, there's so many items that Boxy has a tier 5 neutral item in his backpack, and he's using Apex on a pause 4 Weaver.
That sounds about right. For
Just
the
let that sink in for a second. Your position 4 is using Apex. But Tumba's like, I don't want that shit. Get out of here.
He's got a giant's ring. He's a big baddie. Look at him, Martha. He's trying to man fight him. Classic Amar.
They both do literally 0 damage to each other.
I know, they just stare at each other, and it's like one of those skits, right, where they take off their glove and like slap the other person. It's more to hurt their pride than to actually hurt them at this rate.
It seems like a British thing to me, to slap with the
I
glove.
think it's a French or a British thing.
Oh,
European thing in general.
It's a European
I
thing for sure, yeah.
I could be wrong.
Have we seen a Torrent Storm yet? I feel like there
No,
hasn't
we
been a
haven't
fight
seen Waterbender yet.
since he's gotten that. It's the later the game goes, the better that ability is. It's so disruptive, and you know, I would imagine he is level 30 on Kunkka, or is going to get level 30, and so he's going to have all of the Torrent talents.
There's so many BKBs on deck though too.
Yeah, but it lasts so
All right,
long.
oh, nice blink away here, but again. All right, that is the Eclipse that got used. They do have the Aghanim Scepter on Yoragi, but like...
Of course he has an egg. Yeah,
We're
naturally.
67 minutes into the game. Like, everybody should be kitted out except for poor Taiga, who still has the same items that he's had.
I mean,
he's got to save up for that buyback, though.
Amar hasn't either, because he's just like, he's still
Amar has an
contemplating.
identity crisis.
Right,
He needs to finish up the Abyssal, right?
He's going back for the Abyssal. Like, he had Aghanims queued up to literally 10 seconds ago. So he's finally getting that. He's like, the Ags is too Although
I don't even know. I still think the Ags is potentially good. Like, we're talking about these plays.
this is for throne play with it.
All right.
Oh,
Monty, he's
Radiant's
in.
top tower
No.
destroyed.
Slowly but surely, they're winning
This is
the game.
the worst way to win Dota.
Yeah.
Like, it's the slow bleed out.
But it's number one, it's the only way to win Dota at this point.
At this
And number
point.
two, it's also a way worse way to lose Dota.
Yes, it's way worse.
That is
Just watching helplessly, like, what can I do? I can't hit him.
I just question what I'm looking at when I see a Stygian Desolator octoring.
Okay, all right, Amar, he's in. Nightmare comes out. They've got some of those creeps hitting the base, but there's a big cataclysm coming in. Can they take down this Wraith King? Now he's back up against the Weaver. There's a Black Hole coming out from Zai with that BKB. He's already trying to get some resistance to be able to take down first up a time. He burned back in. It's going to be a hard time to find back again. They want to get in there. They have another Black Hole over here on the side. They're trying to put enough damage down to be able to take down Misha. Misha buying back. They're going right back in again. They want to get these kills. He goes forward. He gets the kill outside. There's no Enigma. Does have buyback though. As the rest of the team on the hunt, the buyback for the Enigma. Boxy running for his life as he gets another kill. And Sania will fall. More buybacks. The base is getting hit though with these creeps. As these fights go on, they've sent the troops down the mid lane as they take a moment to breathe after a big battle, and a lot of buybacks expanded. And Jenkins, Roshan is up and alive. Do they try to challenge? Can they even challenge? There is no Black Hole on the Enigma. But this Roche is going down so fast, I don't think they get there in time. Mott's got his own refresher now, too.
Slaughtered by the
Good God.
Dire.
There's just so little to analyze at this point in the game. It's like that fight was just Zai trying to hit
Matu?
anybody with Black Hole.
Iragi, they've got the
Oh boy,
Alacrity.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We have another Aeon disc. Look at the amount of refreshers and the amount of Aeon discs in this game. I think has to be a new record.
Yeah, these are just like the late game items, and Zai takes the Aegis because everybody else is slotted, so he doesn't have much of a choice.
Oh my God, a double damage for Namatu. Look at this damage. Oh my God. Luna has too much stuff.
Naturally,
Luna has way too much stuff.
Yeah,
Highest amount of
yeah,
assets at least, but
go ahead and throw that in the old stash to the Satanic. Yeah, I'll use that.
put it in the bag with everything else.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God. I love this kind of Dota. This is like so much fun to see. What do you do when your back's up against the wall? Is everybody have an Aeon disc over on the side of OG now? I guess no, they don't have one on the Bane. They don't have one on the...
Surprisingly.
It feels like everybody has it though, but they don't. All right, all right. Another smoke play here coming out from OG. They're looking to poke. They're looking for some sort of engagement refresher on Luna. Again, reminder that there is a refresher on the Wraith King. Shard on the Enigma. This is gonna be one heck of a battle. And it all comes down to who gets the jump on who.
This is gonna sound absolutely insane.
Everything you say sounds insane.
Well, it's also 71 minutes in. I feel like the Tubba Man is not actually doing damage, even though he has a literal rapier. Like,
they're so tanky.
It's just, they're so tanky. And because he has this refresher, they're somehow able to kind of ignore him and just go for everybody else. Like, the supports' lives are the most important at this point in the game for both sides.
BZM gets found out here. Does have buyback. That'll be the Snapfire Kisses that get used. So they do find themselves a pick-off on the side of Liquid. That could be enough to open the door. But again, they do have buyback on Invoker.
Nullifier has insane value at this point because there's...
Oh my god, yeah.
There's like the Wind Waker, there's all of the Eon discs that you were talking about. It's like... when you get a Nullifier against like just a Necrophos or just one Eon disc, it feels good. When you get it against like 5, it feels like literally just the most busted item in the game. So great pickup from Mickey.
All right, Liquid making their way towards the base again. Look at all these Eidolons. Yargi just throwing out those lucent beams, trying to clear out the creep wave. And again, it is a Luna at 72 minutes in, so pretty easy to do, but it's also very scary to approach the creeps.
And at this point, I'm sure that Megas doesn't even matter. Like, this is, you make this play on Liquid because it's really all you can do, but it honestly doesn't matter that much. It's going to boil down entirely to somebody getting picked off without buyback, or Zai using all of his black holes and then not having one up, and then OG just literally runs down mid. It's like, yes, it looks like Liquid is ahead in this game. Yes, it looks like they have full control of this game, but all it takes is one opening for OG, and they can run down mid and instantly end the game. So it could go either way.
And just cleaning up all these creeps. A jump forward from Matu. He's in. He's looking to see if he can blow anybody up as quickly as possible. Amar already, though, is looking to try to get people out. He does get Hex up. There it is. There's a black ball over onto 3 side. Perfect positioning, but it's not going to be able to do it. There it is. Second black ball is going to be able to grab the loot. Take down Misha. They'll take down Yuragi. Yuragi going to have to buy back immediately. They do get to get over onto Amar. They need more damage, though. They need to take down this Wraith King, and they'll take him down once, but he's coming right back up again. OG looking to find the entrance to go and just continue this fight, but it's so hard. They almost managed to get kills. Like, all right, oh, Yuragi, he goes in very, very deep. He's got to run. The Matu's out on his heels. They're going to chase him. The Hex comes out from BZM, though. Can they keep it alive long enough so that Yuragi can get back into the fountain? Too much damage. No, he'll be able to save him just in the nick of time, but there it is. They're going to try to drag Taiga right back out using the black hole. They'll get the kill on Taiga. He does not have buyback. Mickey's sitting a little bit lower on the side. Yuragi trying to man fight over here onto Matu. That's going to be another reincarnation. He's coming right back up again. Stunned into place. Follow up with the tornado. Yuragi looking for the moment to go and drag that lucent beam, but they're just focusing down over on the buildings. They know that they don't have the buyback on a lot of these heroes. Meteor's getting dropped to try to push them away to start, but they call GG. Team Liquid just absolutely obliterated OG in that last fight.
It's so hard to make the right call at that point in the game. I liked what they were doing with the sieging. I loved the patience, especially from Zai, because, like, he's the reason that was so hard for OG, that he wasn't just like,